Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to another fun episode of Life After KCPS. I am your host of that show, Chris Odam, and I'm delighted to have another guest to welcome us into their story this morning. I'm visited today with Kevin Johnson, who I knew to be a pretty amazing musician when I knew him in his really early years. I think in the 9th, 10th, 11th grade area of his life. And just grew more and more fascinated when we met young people then who were by no means just messing around with these disciplines and these skills in a performing arts school. And man, I tell you what, Kevin could really play back then, and I imagine that's not just something that went away all of a sudden. And I'm reminded, Kevin, and you go by a different name, and we're going to explore that name, your artist name, but I'm reminded of you at our show, our poetry show, behind a curtain with an amp, playing like kind of spooky interludes and things that like we weren't necessarily sure who was playing at the beginning, because you weren't necessarily wanting everyone to watch you play. Am I right? That was a memory of mine, right?
Yeah.
And so for you to go from behind the curtain, and it was crazy, awesome stuff coming out of behind the curtain. We just weren't able to witness you in all your valor playing it. So I remember that, but take us back yourself. Like, what do you remember about those days? And then what happened after your days at Paseo Academy were over and you walked across that stage?
The coffee house days is definitely a blessing to me as an artist. First off, it ain't nothing but the amazing Paseo Academy of the Fine Performance Arts. You know what I'm saying? That manufacture a lot of great artists and entrepreneurs. But the coffee house definitely taught me how to engage with our audience, the intimate crowd. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have your big audiences like the T-Mobile centers and the different amphitheaters and stuff around the world, but the coffee house taught you how to engage and be with the intimate performance. Intimate performances are very powerful and to your career. You know, the unplugged situations, the candlelit, the ambiance, and I do vaguely remember that, you know, me being shy. I think I was playing guitar for an artist or whatever. And he's like, man, come out. I'm like, nah, man.
Yeah,
You lead singer, man. I'm the band. You know what I mean?
you kind
And
of had
so,
the wah thing going on.
yeah. And the
Right.
crazy thing about it was my second instrument I was picking up besides piano. I I was I was uh, I was recruited to the concert and jazz band because I'm a percussionist. I'm a drummer. So guitar is not my. It's an instrument that I was experimenting with and learning with in high school.
I see.
And of course, you know, it made me want to pick it up because of the influence of Curtis Mayfield, Jimi Hendrix, and Ernie Osley, the different brothers that play lead guitar.
Right.
So that's definitely it helped me out a lot. I definitely remember that. The coffee house was a dope situation.
It was fun. Those amazing 2.5
Amazing.
hours, sometimes shows that really just a lot of poets and dancers and musicians kind of all colliding on stage. I truly value it too. Awesome memories there. Okay, so after those experiences and post Paseo,
Graduation 2006. So
yeah,
we keep it real. 2006. Um, as much as I was a gifted artist young then, uh, I was a knucklehead when it comes to applying to the academics, because beyond being at art school, there's still academics there. And you know, uh, 2005 was the original class I was supposed to come out. I ended up being blessed with another year with some great teachers. I came out 2006, and you know that right there, graduation 2006. A lot of my teachers, instrumental teachers, my history teachers, they didn't know I could sing. I was blessed to sing the Star Spangled Banner with another lady. I can't remember her last name. Her name is Misha, and we sung the Star Spangled Banner, and also some other choir class members like Tiffany McDaniel, Marquis Coker. We did a tribute to some of the seniors that year that had lost their life. They had Jaquan Ron, We had a Sharita that accidentally, there was some students, we paid tribute to them at that graduation. So when I walked across the stage, a lot of my teachers who I gave hell to, if I could say that, I mean, they shook my hand, and it definitely felt like a release. I could feel something releasing from my body in a spiritual way, walking. I'm like, man, this is it. So dang, what is really next? So going through my mind, me walking across the stage, me getting my diploma, I still stayed with, I had a little time to, you know, kind of chill, but it's time, you come from an old school background. Like you either going to school, you're gonna go to work, what you gonna do? So I'm the baby in the family. So I stayed at the crib for a little bit and still jump into the music studio. Never stopped creating music, producing, making beats, and doing hooks. I did more hooks for a lot of people than anything. I didn't really have no material for me as a solo artist. So with that said and done, I pretty much was still pushing experimental music. Then also I had my son at at 20, you know what I'm saying, who is now, yeah, he's born 2007. So I got a son, Keon Marcel Johnson, who's also an athlete and a vocalist as well. He's being taught by Miss Lisa Henry in the Jazz Academy in the Jazz District. And Clarence Smith was one of my band teachers at Paseo. So
yeah, shout out to Clarence for sure. Awesome.
So from graduation, I just dove into it. Didn't do too much employment working for the man, get checks. It was more so living off the arts and, of course, having a cushion from your parents, and your older siblings, but trying to figure it out. That's what it was after graduating high school. That answered the question detailed enough for you.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic, man. So following this, figuring it out, and living off the arts. Like, I'm assuming you're working that same angle these days.
Yes, I am.
Tell me where the name. I'm kind of curious about your name because I've only known you as Kevin Johnson. But like, can we explore that? Like, what you perform as Church Boy, right?
Yeah, it's Church Boy.
BOI on the end. I think that's pretty crafty. Very creative writing.
Two eyes.
Two eyes. Oh, my bad. Church.
Two eyes. Yeah.
Boy. Extra on the boy. All right.
Yeah.
My bad. Where did that come?
Worry.
Where did that come about, or what does that represent in a name to you?
Well, I lived in a neighborhood, 26 East 9th Street in Chestnut. That is like the playground of rap legend Rich the Factor. And so I'm a church kid. I still attend church. I've been raised in church. That's where my gift been captivated as a drummer, playing in church at a young age of 5. Mm-hmm. And basically, I lived across the street from my church. And the pastor of the church, my parents was renting the house from the pastor. And so, of course, we had church every day almost. Not to exaggerate, we had Bible study.
Right.
That was the day after Bible study. You had prayer meeting on Tuesday. And after prayer meeting on Tuesday, you had choir rehearsal. You had sometimes with the youth group, youth night service or a lock-in. We go play ball, whatever. And then Saturday on the morning, we had outreach where we would witness to folks and knock on the door, get invites out to come to church to fellowship with us on Sunday.
Right.
And then
you were kind of involved then. Like,
yeah.
And hearing you say it, I don't know, this about me, but I'm a preacher's son. So my parents ran.
I just learned something. Wow.
Check that out. My parents ran a church for my entire life. My mom ran the preschool and my dad is the minister, So I hear you. I was utilized in a lot of ways throughout my childhood. Summer school. Man,
you could write a book, my man.
Oh, it's good stuff. I learned so much by being part of a system like that. That's really, church is an educational system in and of itself, right? Like,
yes, it is. It's sure. Definitely, it's an extension of school and college for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's neat. I was curious about your name. I didn't know that either, but I knew it would lead to some kind of gym of.
Well, basically, my neighborhood friends and the parents will be like, they never call me Kevin. I knock on the door, they be like, church boy outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
that's awesome.
That's how you gonna recognize me. So I tried to go by another producer name called Little Show Me, Lil, Little apostrophe SHOME. Take the W off the show for the Show Me state. Little Show Me. Some people still call me Little Show Me for those that knew me by that production name. But my true homies in the hood was like, yo, bruh, everybody. I'm talking about our neighborhood had folks from all walks of life. We talking about from Puerto Ricans to 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 folks from Haiti, to all walks of life, man. A phenomenal gumbo pot of beautiful life, man. So everybody knew me in the neighborhood as Church Boy. So it just said something like, man, you gotta go by Church Boy. I was like, yo, man, my name Church Boy. And it stood. And then after a while, you know, it just stuck. But pretty soon I'm getting older. I have two boys, a prince, two princes. I gotta lose the boys. So it's gonna be church pretty soon. Just church. You know what I mean? It's a powerful name when you think about it, the institution of church and stuff, where you get some truth at, you get some drama. Cause I mean, it's church.
Nothing stops. All the world comes into church and intersects with what's really going on. So well, that's fantastic. Thank you for that unexpected and interesting twist in the story of where your name comes from. I was going to guess, but I could never say that for sure. All right, so we've heard about your path. You've done some discovery. You found that you are a drummer more than you are anything else. Is that right? Still today? And are you?
Drummer, music producer, vocal arranger, songwriter.
Gotcha.
I don't want to take out the time. I want to say peace and blessings to everybody that's been affected by the pandemic, which is if you're grieving or mourning a lost one. You know, of course, the finance has been hit for everybody, but I want to take a time to recognize those that have been impacted by the pandemic, creators and business owners, because I definitely was impacted. My last big show, to get to it before you asked the question, was February 15th.
Wow.
At the Sprint Center, which is not a T-Mobile Center, but we're going to let you get to it first. We don't want to let the cat out the bag yet. But I'm a music producer, songwriter. I have produced some work, working with a lot of phenomenal music producers. Been blessed to be in some sessions. It's an interesting, tedious process to be in sessions. They think when you make an amazing record, it's just like, oh, you put it out, you make a lot of money. No, it's a lot of curating behind it. But I'm still producing. I'm working on my sophomore album, I Am of Age. This album is called Brown Liquor Music. So this is my sophomore project for my first body of work called Cashmere Sweaters and Bow Ties, which is on all digital platforms, YouTube, Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify, CD Baby, iTunes if you want to purchase it. But that's basically, all of that, man. I'm using all entities of music.
It's fantastic.
Soon I'm gonna be giving lessons as well. I had to take my time, talk with some of my music buddies, because I didn't apply myself for is the understanding of the theory, which I'm going back for that, but I'm gonna be giving drum lessons and vocal lessons from my experience of what you're definitely gonna use in the industry and what you should want to have. So
fantastic. Wow. So that's really cool. And I'm more moved every time I do these to hear people finding use of what skills they love to use and what skills they love to share. And I think that's just fantastic, man. That's got to feel good to still be doing the thing that, you were experimenting with when you called your sophomore album in your sophomore year, way back. So I'm excited to hear you got music out there and people out listening right now. Go find it and support and, do what you can, because I'm thinking, dang, I need to go ahead and hear that myself. And I'm telling you, sir, my list of what I want to go out and see in this city is getting really long. I need to just start booking some shows and going to see people. And I'm really, really looking forward to coming out and seeing you and other people I've interviewed. So Kansas City, man, there are so many artists and it's just an amazing community. and I am blessed to live here. And the more I keep uncovering the artists that are growing here and like learning from each other, pockets of things that people may not experience, like Vine. But I myself, I gave it a shot, Kevin. I've played at Davies Uptown 4 times. I play keys a little bit, and I
Okay.
secretly love dreaming about doing that more. But man, I tell you what, I played at Davies Uptown there on 32nd and Main 4 times in my life, and then it's burned down since.
Wow.
So the only place I ever played live is not there ever again. They're going to rebuild it. It's a fantastic place. But I'll tell you that connection.
But you know the magic of the actual real structure, which is dope.
Oh, it was amazing, man. I pushed through my nerves. I got scared to death, and I didn't die up there, and surprised myself and live to tell about it. Would love to do it some more. So down the road,
man, I didn't know you was playing keys, man. You should have been in the piano room with us, man.
I was hanging in the background, wishing I had the nerve that I watched young people have, and I'm still there. I'm still kind of in the background, but my vision is that we do something that's not in the background. I'd love to collaborate with people, or I would love to have a coffee house show and call it Reheated, and have it be big time. And so I've already mentioned that to some people. Start talking it up. If you were down, I know I'd have you. So
I'm down.
All
I'm
right,
representing in a big way. I'll be honored. Come on, Mr. Odam, man. It's 2021, man. We are still standing in the midst of a pandemic. I got to give my all to that 100. It's called Reheated for sure.
Isn't that cool? I kind of had a little creative moment. I was like, ooh, what do you do to coffee when it's old? But it's
reheat
not,
it, especially as high as it is. You reheat that thing, you put it in the microwave.
If you could imagine the caliber of art that evening, because you think about the people that performed when they were young and who they are now, and I just think it'd be exciting. So let's leave on that note. I got to shut this little interview down, but man, I could talk to you forever. Kansas City, I hope, thank you, sir. I hope you've definitely experienced what I have, the joy of Kevin Johnson, church boy, and all his talent. So look him up and see what he can do musically, because I think you'll be impressed and excited as well. So
I do have a Church Boy fan page, Church BO2Is on Facebook. Please, if you can like and follow. I'm posting amazing content of shows that I'm playing here in Kansas City and for different artists. Good news for y'all, I'll be in Texas with my mask on playing drums for R&B artist Raheem Devine.
Wow.
And I'm currently Genuine's drummer. So I had to share that with y'all. I'm still living off the arts, yo. So we out here.
That's so cool, man. All right. You've heard it here. You can do it if you keep pushing. And the arts is definitely a good place to find yourself. So thank you, Kansas City, for listening today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Life After KCPS. We'll see you out there soon. Bye.